Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 54 of Wise Wednesdays with RK. Our topic of conversation today is speaking your truth. And I have with me joining us RAINA KHATRI Tandon. She is the CEO of Right to Rise. She is an amazing speaker. She is someone who I've had the opportunity to speak on panels as the moderator, and I was absolutely floored by her level of presence, by her level of authenticity, and the way she carries herself and her words, for that matter. She has multiple awards and accolades to her cap. And without further ado, I bring to you Rana. Hi, Rana. Thank you for saying yes to the conversation today.
Good evening, Rukia, and it's more than a pleasure to be here on Wise Wednesdays with Rukia Khan because I think we are here to rock the stage with all the beautiful people who are out there listening to us. Thank you for all the viewers who have come here on Rukia Khan show to watch us, and let's add value together.
Awesome. So before we get started, and for the ones who are new to the interview and to the platform, I would request for you to subscribe to the channel and also share with you a tiny little video that tells the story of Wise Wednesdays, how it began, and just a part of the story, but something's better than nothing. Let's just quickly jump into the video and then the conversation with Rana herself.
Wise Wednesdays
Thank you.
started on April 1st with a humble episode on forgiveness. Between then and now, we've had heart-led conversations on happiness, stress management, relationships, resilience, public speaking, respecting boundaries, self-discovery, mindset, just being, listening, reclaiming your life, intuition, and even food. I would like to thank all my listeners and the guests who gave me their time and trust. It is because of you that we kept going. It is because of you that we kept growing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so, so much.
So yes, this is how it all started. It was last year on April 1st that we started the episodes, and the idea was very simple, Rena. It was about looking into my own circle of genius, as I like to call it, people that I have worked with, people that I've spoken with, and just bring their minds and bring the conversations to and speak about the little things that make life big. And as we were speaking the other day, we spoke about how your journey has been about always speaking up, standing for yourself, being there for yourself. And I thought, wouldn't it be beautiful if we could share your thoughts on speaking your truth? So, what does speaking your truth mean to Rena?
So I choose this topic very specifically, and we discussed it out that sometimes it's not about a lot of things in our world that we show out there. Okay, it's about talking about our vulnerabilities, whether we are male or female, talking about what are the difficulties even today. Most people, they just see what's outside. I would say many a times it's also about the success. How do you see success today? How do you see people growing today? The people who you find on social media, the people who you connect with, the people we say we talk and connect with people with their mind, but the mind doesn't show on social media, right? It's all
True.
about the mindful you, the humble you. And sometimes people are good at words, people are courageous to speak, people are able to speak out, and sometimes even a silence gives out a lot of strong meanings. So I would say that sometimes words are sweet but unprofitable. Sometimes they are better and bitter if it's silent. But most of the times, if you are suffering with something, first weigh your words and then place them well, because that will give you the courage of bringing out the truth. It could be something that is hurting you, it could be something that is real, it could be something that is you want to speak out about. And there could be various moments that we could see, because today in pandemic, all of us are going through different stages in life. We might be unwell, we might be with relatives, we might be with friends, with family, and we are going through the ups and downs. So today, I would say speaking the truth is taking 100% responsibility for your life and the people around you.
And you are the founder CEO of Right to Rise. Tell us a little bit
Yes.
about that, because I think there's a lot of learning for us in how it came about and what your journey has been. So tell us a little about that, please.
So it's very interesting, Rukia. Just like you started with the in the last year talking about this wonderful channel, and I think Smilastic has done an awesome job from the time you have
Thank you.
started till date. I mean, you have immensely touched people's lives and talked and spoken about various topics. And today, so the journey, how it evolved, is just like how a normal person does his graduation, goes and does his post graduation. I was the first person in my family, though being from the business background, to say, "Look, I want to get up and do something which is more with regards to work. I want to do what an entrepreneur means or what a 9 to 5 person means." And that was the first time, I went in and picked up my engineering field and went all the way abroad to do it. A person who's never probably stepped out of her own shoes in the same city or in the same country went all the way to UK and did her masters there. And once we finished the masters, I think my dad was like, "What do you really want to do?" And I said, "I want to study more." And then I went ahead in Scotland and did my PhDs there in research, which was more to do with VLSI chip design engineering. That was done and worked there for quite many years, came back, then realized that, there's much more to life than being a 9 to 5 person. Like you say, you are meant to engage with people, to be with them, to be around them, and also to do much more. And that's why you're here all the time, of speaking with new people, sharing so much knowledge, and people in getting inspired day in and day out, because you feel that strong sense of aligning your purpose with their purpose and helping them to rise. Uh,
Right.
that's when I came into the coaching and training world after a lot of brainstorming. I think you and me have gone through that mode, where we don't know what to do, and sometimes we
Yeah.
are always with this question mark that how do we go ahead and do that? How do we? What do we do with our life? What do we go ahead and work in terms of? Okay, so somebody is actually asking me the link, and I'm just trying to figure out. I think
Okay.
we
So
how do
how
people join
what
in actually? Yeah.
so how people need to
Yeah.
join is to just go to the YouTube channel, and there we are relaying live. So that is
Okay.
pretty much how
Awesome.
it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what it was that after a lot of brainstorming, I still didn't know there's a field like training and coaching. And one day I just come up to this field through the newspapers, and I say, okay, I think that might be something, because we just love talking, we just love uh, being around people. We are providing solutions. I was already into a stage where I had done a little bit of counseling and getting to know people. So I said, okay, let's explore into this world. And after a few years, there was this word called niche. And I was thinking, what would be my niche? And somebody said, you'll get a eureka moment. You'll suddenly be
Mm-hmm.
standing behind your shower and suddenly you'll get the eureka moment. And I said, really? Am I going to get that eureka moment someday? So,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing like that actually happened. It was just a matter of touch and feel. Again, it's a matter of connecting with the truth within yourself, speaking the truth within yourself. I just spoke what I know and what my knowledge expertise say, and it always says be there for somebody, no matter if somebody is there for you or not. Listen out to somebody, because hearing out comes in first before you want to be heard. And speak out less, hear people more. Again, like I said, it's more about what do you really want to do. Repetition is a key to real learning, but how you read a book is how you understand people. You need to know how it goes ahead, and you make common sense from little emotions that people are emoting, little thoughts and feelings that you are sensing with people, even though they don't speak up. So all that started connecting the dots, And that's when Right to Rise emerged. Hi, Ruby. That's great to see you as well. So, what exactly happened was there was this one training when I was doing my POSH training, and there were people who connected, and they came up to me and said, "How can you actually help us?" And that gave one sense of understanding that they are actually seeking out to me and I need to be there for them. And the next event that actually repetitively happened was there was children, there were youth, there were other people who seek the same guidance. So we always say that maybe God shows you your way, and that way can actually be through many different ways, like it comes down through Rukia, or it comes down through Ruby, or it comes down through Preeti and many other people. What basically happens is they come as different sources telling you that this is what you're meant to do. And every time you do it, of course, you come to know whether you're on your right path or not, like how you and me are always doing what we feel are right for the people, for us. But we go ahead and we make this quality of life for people. So this is
Hmm.
the person I am, this is the person you are, and we are trying to make the difference. So
Absolutely.
other than that, yes, there have been ups and downs. There have been excuses like every other things, but the power to success is only the number of times you fail and then you
True.
rise. And
True.
I feel that you, me, and everybody out there have this right to rise. That's why I named my company with the name of Right to Rise. It works in essentially in the place of, again, sexual abuse, sexual harassment, stopping child abuse of every form. But it comes down to the same aspect that you need to connect with yourself and speak your words or walk the talk
Yep.
that you kind of say. Yeah.
Brilliant. So it looks like it's a gallery of ours today. So we've got me, we've got Raina, we've got Rohit who's joined us, and
Yeah.
we've
Hi,
got
Rohit.
Ruby as well. She says double dose of RK. So brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. As you can see, we have with us Raina today, who is this absolutely amazing person on a journey of helping people with right to rise, with the many things that she does, with the conversations that she has, with the trainings, with the coaching, with the speaking. So anything that you would like to speak to her or ask her about her journey, perhaps, or even about what speaking your truth really could mean to you, if you have any thoughts on that, please type in comments, send us your questions, and we'd be more than happy to address them. So, Rena, I remember very clearly what it was and why it was that I decided to kind of change, make a shift from being just that, homemaker. And I've no biases against homemakers, because that's a beautiful place to be in. However, I wanted to
Absolutely.
do more. However, I wanted to do more in life than diapers and dishes. So, what was that turning point for you? Of course, you were on your learning journey. You had completed your master's. You were studying further. You'd done your in the UK, and you. What was that point where you chose? Okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay, so there are different shades of Rena. Okay, you might be seeing the celebrity part of Rena now, but let me tell you, Rena is a face which has multi shades. I think 15 minutes before I was cooking, and maybe 25 minutes before I was actually sitting with my 13-year-old discussing, talking, feeding. It must be funny with you that why are you feeding your 13-year-old, but I actually enjoy. And sometimes he's also enjoying that love and affection of mama being around because mama is quite busy. So it doesn't matter if the child is small or big. It's the time you spend with the child. It's the time you spend with your family. It's the time you are connecting with your work. All I know is that you need to connect the dots to place in such a way that the beauty inside you always shines. And
True.
speaking the truth means accepting that you are actually a person, a human. Okay. Uh, Thank you, Ruby, for that. So, Ruby is a real dear friend, and thank you, Rohit, as well. Uh, when we speak out whatever we given as knowledge, I've just known one thing. There are people who show a different face when you're out there, and there are people who show a different face when they are at home. I have
Yep.
no going back on words when I say, I love cooking, I love baking, I love spending time with my family as much as I like being on awards and functions, accolades, and even achieving the best of life today. As you see me on LinkedIn or Facebook or any of the other shows where I'm speaking or I'm training or I'm an entrepreneur. And let me not tell you, I'm a woman entrepreneur. I'm just an entrepreneur. I don't get that concept of people disengaging a woman with a man and saying, okay, you're a woman entrepreneur or you're a, I mean, why do you call women as women entrepreneurs? I don't understand because entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. If you
Exactly.
don't like your outcome, you start changing your response. Everything that you do, the outcome is only decided by your response because there is always an event. Me being here, me being at, being a mother, me being a daughter, me being a wife, or being a any other role like an entrepreneur or a working lady or anything. Um, you don't need to show the world that you're a different person.
Correct.
There comes the aspect that are you open to talking out to the world that you are your real self? Okay, we talk so big when we go out, but are you the person who the world wants to see? Because people only relate to people who are like them. Why should they relate
Yep.
to somebody who's just an unexpected choice of what's being done there? So, the other thing which I faced during my work is that people find it very difficult to speak out when they undergo certain circumstances or situations. It could be as small as if they've gone for a public speaking seminar and they couldn't speak, or if they have
Yep.
started a YouTube channel or writing a blog spot. Like I asked few people 2 days back, how do you do a payment on, say, InstaMojo? I usually use Razorpay. So I really didn't know how InstaMojo works, and people were finding me really funny, and they said, "Oh, really? You don't know how to use InstaMojo?" I said, "No, I don't." And how does
Yeah.
that make it very? How does that make it
Yeah.
different? So it was a little strange for them, but then to be able to speak up and say that you don't know this, I want to learn it, or to be able to say I don't know how to make a blog spot, or I don't know how to make a write an article, is speaking out the truth. This could lead up to the next level of you being an organizational specialist, you being a person working at a society, you being a person in the open space, in any space where if you are not open to speaking up things, then how would your children do that? And
Yep.
that's the place where something unexpected could happen. Like sometimes you have child bullying, sometimes you have pressures at home, sometimes you have people pulling you down, there could be ragging, there could be um, maybe somebody body shaming you, maybe somebody speaking about your lifestyle or your husband or your background. And if you don't have that courage in you, the grit in you that speaks up the truth, then it doesn't allow you to emerge because you're stuck. And that's where I said that, speaking the truth really matters, because speaking the truth is feeling your voice. If you can't feel your voice within, you'll always be shaky. And if you're shaky, you can never evolve. You'll be stuck. And if you're stuck, people will get mad at you, you get mad at yourself. So never be afraid to speak the truth, because that's your inner voice, that's your inner self. That's what you really feel inside, and you want to write it down as a story, that a legacy that you want to build up. So that's my truth. In fact, I would like to ask you, Rukia, just for a matter, do you think of any instance in your life where you were scared and you couldn't speak the truth because of circumstances around you? Can you think of any of them? Many of them, I think, would be happening.
Yes,
It's just that it's not
absolutely.
popping up.
Absolutely. I mean, there are instances where you don't really know what's going on, and you feel like you're lost. And I think one of the ones, the one that I always talk about, is where with my son, when I was dealing with my rock bottom space of time, and I felt like I didn't want to face the empty house. I didn't want to face the darkness. And when he asked me that question of what are you up to, I just kind of pushed it away, and I said, I used my authority card, and I said, I'm your mother, you can't speak to me like that. So for me, it was more like, hide
Yeah.
hide behind that wall of, oh my god, I'm authority, you're not supposed to speak to me like that. But in reality, I was afraid to tell him that I was aching, I was hurting inside, and I just
Yeah.
needed a little bit more time perhaps to kind of find my feet once again. But that question helped me because it helped me understand the game that I was playing. It helped me, though I didn't at the time acknowledge it. But having told him that, and then to receive the response of, what about accountability, from my 18-year-old, it just felt like, wow, he's reflecting the values I taught him. So it's now is the time for me to be truthful to my values, because he's taken them on and he sees them as the truth. So if I kind of differ from it, then it just kind of becomes like a one-way conversation, and then his trust in that truth kind of begins to fade away. So thank you for that question.
Thank you. So I have one more thing. As you spoke, it was so beautiful when you said that speaking the truth sometimes hurted you if you didn't do it. Okay, and
Yep.
you even though you wanted to speak to your son, um, many parents I have gone through who face the same thing is that either they are fearing their children, or children fear their parents. And we don't understand one aspect there, Rukia, is that love me or hate me, I always should speak the truth. We try to
Yep.
hide things, or they try to hide from us because we are not transparent. We don't open
True.
up, we don't speak out. And that's because we feel that if we speak out, then probably we are letting them know more. But
Hmm.
we don't understand one angle of life today is that we are in the 22nd century and not 18. So they know much
True.
more than us. And even if we don't bring it up, I think the whole world is going to expose it to them. So why should it come from an XYZ when it can come from the most trustworthy person, and that's you? Whether it's the
True.
father, the mother, the family. So speaking truth instills power. Speaking truth instills togetherness, the bonding, and I'm sure love or hate doesn't come in there, but it gives a lot of power. So,
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
if you speak the truth, there's a lot of power, there's a lot of persistency, there's a lot of togetherness, and I would say it is the most powerful bond if you speak the truth. Then
True
there's
that.
nobody who's the third party who comes in the middle and tries to shake your goals away from your people, from your redefined purposes, or whatever you are aiming to. So yeah,
Exactly.
transparency, truth comes in through what we go through and speak out. And
Yes.
yes, it helps a lot of people with trauma as well. But it's
Yeah.
difficult to speak the truth, we say, and sometimes we say that hiding out uh, is better off because all truth is never yet to be told. I would say when you can't speak out something, then you should pen it down, because journaling, penning speaks your subconscious mind. And your
Yep.
mind is so powerful that it flies faster than your words. So you know what
Mm-hmm.
you need to work on and what you don't need to work on. What you're doing right, what you're not doing right, the clarity, the compass, the breakthrough, everything comes in so bold and to the shot that this is what I want, even though I'm not able to say. I
Hmm.
could not tell that lady that she's not good, or she what she did is hurting me. But if I write it down and then burn it out, I know that I have killed that thought which is
Released it.
troubling me. Yeah.
Yeah, you released
So
it.
yeah.
Great. And I think and I like what you said about bring there's power in truth, and there's so much of transparency. A lot of times we kind of mask the truth and kind of cut corners, and we make it, soften it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's those corners that others pick up and use to kind of poke into the relationship later on. And
Yeah.
much earlier on into my motherhood, I realized it's always better to speak to the children directly, instead of trying to find out about them through others, or through friends, or through teachers, because they know their world the best. And if you give them the safe space that, yes, you can come to me with any issue, you can come to me with anything that you're going through, anything that might happen, and I am here to listen to you, no judgments, is absolutely a blessing in the relationship.
Yep. That's so true.
Super. So what have been the blessings in your world?
So, I think when I started my life with my family, with my husband, one thing which has been very, very good is that I have a very good family, very good background, everything to go with, and everything is so very nice. But some point of your life, you want to do something different, and that's where uh, sometimes you know that people are around you, but they don't support you for something which they can't see on the long run. I think
Yep.
my husband has been one superpower there, even though my parents or my in-laws said, we don't know what you actually want to do with your life. At one point of my time, when I planned to become a trainer, coach, mentor, and then finally into an entrepreneur and a founder of Right to Rise and RKT Foundation, every time they feel that um, how is that possible that a woman could be so much stronger, or breaking down every small goal into her larger goals and then chunking it down, helping people, masking her to-do list, and still being able to come out of her comfort zone day in and day night, because she feels that she needs to add value to somebody's life.
Hmm.
Now here, the blessing here is, if I didn't have a very uh, supporting husband or a supporting um, a son, then probably it would have not been so easy.
Hmm.
You can feel at peace within yourself and within around you only when you find the support. So
True.
again, speaking the truth there, that I don't feel comfortable about so many things that's happening about me. What you really can do to make my thoughts settle down and to make me progressive. Second, when you speak the truth, you don't realize that you're there not only to inspire yourself but the others. So when
Yep.
you speak the truth, there is so much force and power that it unconsciously converts into blessings, because you're trying to put out your point bold and clear. So the other person gets the message that it's either this or that, and there's no
Hmm.
other way. What do we do? And how do we go about it? So there is clarity. Again, you overcome fear. So you feel at peace, you inspire others, you overcome fear, you open your heart, you feel the need of how the hidden figures can be moved away. You feel the need of probably someone. So tomorrow, even if the whole world is against you, you know that these two people are standing by you.
True.
And
Okay, I'm just gonna interrupt you there.
yeah,
That's your world where you have the support. But what
yeah,
advice or what hope can you give for those who don't have that support? Because not
right,
everybody is
right,
as blessed as you are, or as
absolutely,
blessed as I've been.
absolutely.
So, yeah.
So, what I would say to those people is, first, pen down what are the skills you have, what is the competency you have, and what are the resources.
Hmm.
Who are the people around you? What do they really want? There will be 100% challenges. It's not that when I started, I would not have challenges. But when you start, there are always challenges. So, first, list down who are the people around you, what are the challenges you face, what are your resources, what is that you need to work in terms of competency and skill. I know only this much. What can I do out of that? What do I really want to become? For example, when if you want to start to make a company, initially you need finances, you need a setup, you need a goal, and you need to know how you're going to grow. And yes, reach out, ask for support, ask for help. Now, when you start up, you don't know where to go to, who to ask for
Yep.
help, because sometimes when you ask your own people, sometimes they don't even turn up giving you help, and that time you are not actually known to a lot of faces. Okay, when I started, I actually didn't know who to go to, because friends and family are a totally different source or totally different resource. When you are in different kinds of at least in India it's different, because people
Yep.
start seeing you like you have all the possibilities of being comfortable, why do you want to do something else?
Yeah.
Now, to start little by little, first you need to help people, to be there for them, find them solutions. Then you start finding like minded people who are like you. Yes, that helps you grow a community, that helps you grow people who are there to be supportive not only to you, but also to your initiatives. And then probably, yes, get together with those two, three, four, which become 10 and then 100 and then 1,000. And then you can say that, yes, we are there for each other.
True.
Okay. So that itself helps you to grow little by little. Then I'm sure people who are there at home or people who are working, all of them know how to save money, and they have been doing that since years of what their parents have been teaching them. So when you are saving, then right to save it in the right way. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is you saving your money into your cupboards is not going to help. So financial literacy is important. You knowing that even though you don't know how to open an account, and if you don't have support nearby, the only thing you need to do is to go to a bank and ask somebody there, I need to open an account, and make a fixed deposit or some kind of a deposit which adds on to your interest, and at least your money grows. Just like you grow, your money needs to grow. A simple thing like that. Okay, so your assets are growing, your resources, now your skills and competency. If I don't know how to write an email, I need to go to somebody and tell them, please teach me. May not be somebody in your household, it may not be somebody who's there out there, but you'll find somebody if you really want to find somebody. It could be in the society, it could be your friends, it could be your colleagues, it could be anybody. But you need to find somebody. Yes, today we are so exposed to social media, but to trust somebody blindly when you start off is very difficult to trust on social media, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, unless until you have somebody who you really know well. But I would say kids, friends, youth, they are much approachable when you have to learn something, and they have a lot of energy. So it's nice to be among children and youth because at least your energies are positive. Secondly, you will never find inspiration always outside. Sometimes you have to build this intrinsic motivation inside. Okay. And that can be done by reading good books, by doing some form of exercise, meditation, yoga, I don't know, what helps you, or even sitting on your balcony sipping your coffee or water. Okay. If that gives you peace of mind, or listening to wonderful music, uh, then you should be doing that very often, because that helps you to get into a space where there's a lot of me time and you're able to think positively or productively, is what I call. Okay. So that could be one more. And the second thing is, once you grow there, then getting yourself more technology driven. Um, for a lot of people who are out there, whether you're working, educated, homemakers, all you need to know is first how to use a technology, that is laptop. Having a laptop, having a mobile phone, and using a Wi-Fi is basic necessity. And after that, you can be exploring the whole world. Now, how do you do that? Yes, you have to do something to get to your husband or your brother or your father or anybody who knows Wi-Fi and the laptop to learn it. And the least it takes is go and ask. If you ask, it shall be granted. And I'm sure God will find a way to give you that. But with the technology, with the financial aspect, and with your skills and competency, I'm sure at least you can start off the journey. And then
True.
the rest is there. You can hear some TED Talks, you can read some good books, you can meet some nice people, you can learn from what the other people do, get into good community forums, community groups, a lot of other associations where people are out there, like Rotary and Toastmasters, and many other groups, that Alliance Club and all that, where you get to interact with people or people in your own society. I think there are loads of people, you just need to turn left and right and you find them. It's
True.
just where your focus goes. And like Tony Robbins always says, the focus goes where the energy flows, and energy has to flow positively. So work on self. I think once you work on self, the whole world becomes very positive. You
Yeah,
can't work on anybody else for sure. Yeah.
true. And it's about making that decision, I think, at the end of the day. It's about deciding whether you want to continue to be that victim or you want to kind of take over your life and just be there for yourself for a change. It's about making
Yeah.
that decision. So yes, ask. We've got Ruby who says, very well said, Rena. Let me just highlight that. Ask, seek,
Yeah.
know how and when of the technology. Absolutely. I think we hesitate. We hold back and we feel like, oh my God, if I ask, it will either make me look like I'm not capable enough, or I'm silly, I'm stupid, I don't know what I'm doing. And then if this is the very first step, what about the next? How will I manage? We make things bigger than they are, and what we don't realize, it just takes one first step to
So
climb that
beautifully said. I
mountain.
think we make it a big thing out of a mountain. Very, very well said, Rukia there. Thank you,
So
Ruby, for adding value. Yeah.
super. So, so we've looked at people who might be in that victim mode. I want to also look at those who might have reached a particular spot and are ego driven. What are your thoughts on that? Because we're looking at both sides of the equation today. So, what
So
are your thoughts on ego?
ego is a very funny game. I would call it. It's a fun game, and I would say people who are egoistic, God bless them, because they can never grow or they don't allow other people to grow as well. Okay. Now, if you have a big ego battle, okay, so I call it ego is nothing but a person's self esteem which has been broken someday and now unconsciously built into a mountain that doesn't allow it to go anywhere or everywhere. Okay, especially if you have reached an ability of intelligence where they have only been likes, and not wanting to grow with feedback.
Hmm.
Okay, if you're a person who's not ready to ask or give feedback, a person who's not ready to change, a person who's always accepting that you are the best and no other, uh, that person can never help person or never help another person grow. um, he would maybe keep growing based on whether his repetitiveness towards the success he gets. How do you
Hmm.
get success? Is if you are doing certain things in a certain way and you feel happy about it, you're able to grow about it, and you constantly repeat the same thing, then you get success.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for the egoistic people, I have two lines. I'm going to just read it. I
Oh.
just came across this in the morning, which I had written on my status as well. We have our very own music that plays within us, our passions, our dreams, but so many of us are afraid to step out and dance to our own beat.
Hmm.
And this beat can be positive or negative. We wonder why so many people are depressed, tired, and unhappy because we are not paying attention to our voice.
Yeah.
Our voice would say, calm down, there is no hurry. Our voice would say, stop, there's no need to run. Our voice would say, that's fine if somebody gets an award, you don't really need to run behind it. Our voice would say, is that really you? Sometimes it's just that whisper, and other times it's that shout who always screams out to say, copy, 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 and follow the masses. And this is when we become out of sync.
So beautiful.
Okay? It's time to step away from your comfort zone of the egoistic person in you. Listen to the music that dare allows you to move out from who you are. When you finally follow your own tune, life will be so beautiful, full of rewards, excitement, and just the beautiful, unique you. So
Lovely.
I think we just need to pay attention on that. And I'm sure that life will be very musical because everybody's journey is not the same.
Hmm.
Everybody's journey is very unique, and each person sees you as somebody who's very special. If you really want to be that special person, then speak the truth what your mind says. Speak the truth what your heart says. Yes, you can't be very emotional all the time. You need to be practical, but you need to hear that voice beneath which says, maybe you're a good artist and not a good speaker. Maybe you're a good writer and not a good speaker. Maybe you're a good speaker and not a great writer. That's fine. Go with the skills that you obsess or you are possessing and something that you really want to work at one at a time. You can't be
Hmm.
everything, that's for sure. And for all those
Yeah.
egoistic people, uh, reflect, ponder. I'm sure you'll be able to find the special you that's inside you. But till then, stay tuned. I'm sure your voice will speak up.
I like that. I love the diplomacy and I love the flow of
Yeah.
words. Thank you,
I'm
Rena.
sure they are just like us. It's just that they are lost.
Yeah, they're lost, and I don't. I mean, yes, they're lost, or maybe we're looking at it as lost. And I think somewhere the ego comes in to protect. Ego comes
Yeah.
in to protect you from possible hurt, and it's obviously functioning from a a past experience, right?
Yeah.
It's showcasing itself due to past experience or due to whatever you might have gone through, and so it's just coming from a very cordial space of, okay, I shall protect you, I shall take care of you, and even if that means pushing somebody else down, or putting you up somewhere else, so where you're out of reach, or out of reach of hurt or trouble or challenges. So brilliant. Tell me a little bit about trusting yourself.
Okay, so trust. What is trust to you?
You tell me.
Trust to me is believing in myself, accepting my failures, accepting my success. Um, is trying to understand that I'm not fooling people. My
Mm-hmm.
goals speak truth. Not living a life of lies, not living a life of cheat. In order
Yep.
to trust myself, or in order to believe myself, I need to again talk about no more than other than what I do. So it's basically walk the talk. See,
Yep.
we are like tea bags. Okay, if somebody tells us get into the honey, we get into the honey. Get into the hot water, we get into the hot water. Get into the cold water, we get into the cold water, and we just get merged into anything that's around us.
Yep.
That makes us a woman because we are multitasking with everybody. But we need to understand that when we ourselves are dipped into so many waters, every water that we are dipped into, we give a different flavor,
True.
right? So when I say I trust myself, or when I say I trust you, for many people, the word is very loose. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if they really trust others or they trust themselves. Oh, I trust you totally. But when you turn back and tell them, can you help us today? They would say, not really. How do I trust, or how do I give you?
Yep.
Okay, I'll iterate a small incident. So there was this lady who is there in a business group, and she called me one of the days and she said, Rena, I want a big amount of money. And do you know anybody who can invest? I need it for a course, and I need a real huge amount. So I said, if it's something around a limited amount of money, I myself would have come. So she wanted something over 2 lakhs. Okay, so that's quite a lot of money. And she said, my business is growing. I probably need it now. And I said, okay, let me just go to somebody and see if there are a lot of business investors and people who are there. But see, when person gives money over certain amount, they will look at a trust that they have with that person. Why would they just come and give you money? I openly told her that minute that, they would give it because they probably know me, they trust me. But if they have, and I would probably not be dealing with that directly, but if they have to trust you, what would you give in to trust, to build that trust? Because
Yep.
they don't know you. Now, after I said that and kept the phone, I still helped her out, and there was somebody who said, yes, we will help her because we trust you. And she went ahead, got money, and I should really salute that person, that man who gave the money to her with just trusting. Okay,
Mm.
and she has paid back. Now, there's maybe 1% of the whole world who does something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, giving such a huge check, not knowing the person. Most people are driven only by money,
Yep.
and psychologically, it is very difficult for them to trust. So in business, we always say don't prison yourself to the word trust, because um, that's a very superficial world for many people.
Mm.
If you trust, then you have to blindly accept whatever has been told, and you know that if the person does something right or wrong, you still know that it's for your benefit. So
Yep.
I would say when you use the word I am trusting you, you really mean it, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
present or past, and you have to affirm how are you trusting and on what basis are you trusting.
Correct.
And if you are not trusting somebody, please do not use that word trust, because it shows that you have subdued or subgiven yourself to the other person, and you totally believe in him. When we say we trust in God, do we really trust in God?
Hmm. Powerful.
Think
Yes.
about it. See, if we told that maybe a few years back, I would say, yes, we trust. But a lot of people today trust in God. They really believe that, miracles happen. And really, miracles happen. Why does
They
the
do.
miracle not happen to the others? Because the trust is not there. Even God knows that we are superficially faking or we are real. Okay.
Yes, that's why I said that was a powerful question, because at one point we say we're trusting in God, and then we get into this whole paranoia when things go wrong, or we're
Yeah.
upset, we're angry, we're
Why
bitter.
did this person do this to me? Why did I get into this filth? Why am I with this fear? Why I took such a big leap and still you made me fall? And we start questioning so many things even after the leap of faith, but we don't trust that beyond that puddle of hot water, we still have a beautiful spot where God wants us to be. But
Hmm.
yes, it's
A
difficult to
lot.
see that, I'm
I
sure.
think a lot of us are taking that leap of faith by tying ourselves back to a rock. Still,
Yeah.
we still attached to the safety of wherever we are, and then we're taking that leap of faith, and then we're wondering why haven't we had that aha moment. So, how important are boundaries? Because I'm very curious. I'm sure you have something very interesting to share to us when I talk about boundaries, setting boundaries, and respecting boundaries.
Okay, so I would say that I have various instances that I myself have grown.
Mm-hmm.
When you have boundaries, boundaries are very different for different people.
True.
Some people like to be very close to people, and the more you are close to them, they like you to be connected. So it's like you pick up the call and talk to a person on a daily basis, and you form the connect. So one day if you don't call, then they are missing you, and many families have that kind of a bonding where you don't draw those lines. Now, there have been this kind of bonding even in the pandemic if you are able to hear and feel emotions of people across. They could be sometimes family or they could be friends who have become family.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't have this drawing the line even in family. Sometimes we're just crouching on each other's face. Why did you not probably call me? How did you not invite me for a wedding? How did you not come for my birthday party? Or how could you have not called me? Now, uh, I like to tell a particular instance. So I am a person who likes to be caring for people. Okay, and I'm not a very WhatsApp person or social media person. I like to personally call people and give them a greeting or ask them how are they doing, and probably go ahead and find out what's right or what's wrong with them, or everything is okay. Some people feel that they are not that kind of a bonded person, so they feel that why is this person calling so many times to find out how they are. So you can notice a person's voice, you can notice a person's you not wanting to speak to them by their
Hmm.
voice or their emotions most of the
The
time.
tone.
So
Yes.
I say that other than in workspaces where we are talking about posh and POXO, where we know that being a stranger to each other, we need to draw the line. Even though we are working in the same company, then we draw the line. Even though we are working with acquainted people across online, today we are on social media where we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and people are so approachable. We need to draw a line. So we need
Yep.
to know how do we speak to people, why are they connecting, what is the reason for the connect, and then probably go ahead and do a call or connect to them on the call or give them our private credentials in terms of phone number or an email address and other things. But with personal people, whether they are people of your team, of your company, of your friends and family, every person is very different.
Yep.
If they really expect it and you are a person of bonding, then you should be doing that, because a few moments of speaking to your friends and family creates the entire world for them. Okay,
True.
so you connecting with your parents or your in-laws or anybody in your system, they just love it. They feel like they are being loved and cared for. But if there are people around you who feel that you're too clogging on them and you sense that, then I think you should just build a space, because today's youth, today's people who are evolving, they feel that they need to be a little stay away. Okay, they
Hmm.
like their space. They don't like to be crouching too much, and that's okay because I think we have always emerged from a culture of togetherness. So
Yes,
now that togetherness of being with 15, 16 people has gone down to 4 people, and now with 4 people it's gone down to 2 people. And everybody likes their space.
true.
So you drawing the lines is like giving them their space and yet being together. It's better than being together and staying aloof. So yeah.
Like that. All right. So we're coming to the close of our hour. And one question that I'd like to really ask you is there some advice that Rena would like to give the future Rena, say maybe 10 years from now? Or is there some advice that you would like to take from the Rena of 10 years ago? So the choice is yours. You can either pick to take advice from either here or there. Tell me.
Okay, so the advice for this Rena to the one before was never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty, truth, compassion against injustice. Not that there was injustice before, but I was a very soft spoken person. I think I was not a very bold and courageous person when I was very young. And I used to see a lot of things happening to other people and get to know. I thought that it's better to be quiet because in every country the culture is very different. And you being
Yes.
in a different country, you just don't open your mouth and voice for honesty or equality and truth, even though you can see injustice happening or incompassion not being there. Um, Now, I think earlier I was a little stringent about the ways I used to be. So that Rena is giving this Rena a little advice that you don't need to be too stringent with your ways. You can be bending like water. You can mold yourself and be logical because today's world is evolving and Rena has changed from what she was before. Other than that, I think I'm still the same person what I was before and what I am. I accept myself the way I am. I reason myself the way I talk to myself and the others. So I think just love yourself, be with yourself, give compassion, follow the empathy, and speak the truth. Yes, you feel safe and comfortable when you speak yourself.
Beautiful. So, anything that you would like to say to Rena moving forward?
Okay, so the Rena moving forward, keep rising, keep shining. I think you have more work to do with spreading your light and wings to all the people across. And
Beautiful.
do take all the people along, whoever are in the journey, who are ready to join you and reach out to all the maximum people out there. Be beautiful, be simple the way you are just now.
Yes, you definitely are. Beautiful, simple, and words of wisdom indeed. Thank you so much, Rana, for your time. Thank you for the wisdom and for all that you've shared with us. I will be putting in comments, or maybe you could later join in and put in comments how people can reach you, where they can connect. And it would be great, guys, if you could tag a friend who needs to receive this message, because this conversation was definitely powerful. The kind of insights that Rena has shared have been really, really coming from home, driven home, and I'm sure they're going to make a massive difference for you, and especially if you're in that space of understanding, do I do this, do I do that? So I think this is the time to speak your truth and really go down and say, this is what needs to get done. If you're new to the channel, once again, I request a courtesy subscription. And thank you, Rena, for being on board, and thank you everybody for joining us. Have a
Thank
lovely
you.
evening.
Thank you so much, Rukia. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
viewers.
Thanks. Thank you.